A devastating new poll for President Biden shows a growing number of Americans disapprove of his handling of nearly every major issue, including COVID, inflation, and gun violence.
Fox News contributor Newt Gingrich is the author of Beyond Biden. He joins us right now for reaction. Newt, good morning to you.
Good morning.
So, and there's your book right there.
Early Merry Christmas.
Indeed. We're getting that in that part of the calendar. So, Newt, the president's poll numbers are in the wrong direction. And yet today, I was just looking at Punchbowl. Apparently, they're going to continue to push Build Back Better, which essentially all this government spending is what has gotten us to this 40-year inflation.
Look, I think the country understands that even more spending just increases the inflation rate. The numbers last month were the worst in 40 years. And that means if you're a working American or you're American on a limited income, you're paying more for gasoline, more for rent, more for food. It is a direct assault on the standard of living of most Americans. But here's the problem: if you're Biden and Pelosi and Schumer, you're already discounting next year and assuming you're going to get wiped out. So you're trying to drive through everything to pay off your allies before the catastrophe hits. And I think it's a little bit like people who are trying to build a house on a beach while a tsunami's coming, and they're trying desperately to finish the house, and this wave gets bigger every week. And I'm amazed by it. It'll be very interesting to see if Joe Manchin caves, because what you're seeing is a network of political power in Washington against the entire rest of the country. And Manchin and Sinema so far have sort of stood outside of that network and said, are you guys crazy? But the pressure builds every week to go ahead and pass something.
Right.
And and I think that's where they're at. And so I think it's going to get worse, not better.
CBO came out and blew up the whole plan. Said it's going to cost much more than they're saying. And they said, well, that's a fake CBO report. I mean, are you kidding me? So Joe Manchin's got cover. Yeah. He knows where the momentum is. And so does Kristen Sinema, who's been kind of eerily quiet lately. He knows where the momentum is. Well, and now he's got the CBO to lean on.
But look at the 20 or 30 or 40 House Democrats who are in very marginal districts. There are 75 House Democrats who won by smaller margins than the New Jersey State Senate president who was defeated by a candidate with $2,300. So if you're one of those 75 House Democrats, I'm amazed that Nancy Pelosi says to all of them, you know, being kneecapped by me this week is certain, losing next year is possible. Now, which one do you want? And they just fall in line and they vote for stuff that they cannot possibly defend back home.
Kamala Harris sat down with her hometown newspaper, the San Francisco Chronicle, and they were asking her about the dysfunction. There are rumors that there's dysfunction. She's had several staffers leave.
She has no staff left.
And she was asked about it. This is what she said. She said, if something is coming to me, it's because it needs to be addressed, and because by definition, it's not going to be easy. If it was easy, it would have been handled before it comes to me. Is that a good answer for that question? She doesn't really address it.
Well, look, if you're an incompetent, dysfunctional person, being asked why you're incompetent and dysfunctional is a non-question. Because as an incompetent, dysfunctional person, I mean, the most you can do is laugh about it, which is her normal answer. She doesn't have a clue about what's going on, and the country's beginning to realize we have a president that may or may not know what's going on and a vice president who doesn't have a clue. That's pretty scary.
Newt Gingrich joining us live from the D.C. area. Newt, thank you very much.
Thank you.
He's looking to get beyond Biden, it sounds like.
Yeah, that's the name of his book.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.